but this is just laying a clear base. I do this on every set I do, even on a fake hand. And basically this is just to provide strength. Clear base is clear acrylic is probably the most kind of pure form of acrylic, so it's going to be the strongest, so you're going to get a really nice strong base. So today we are doing some rose quartz nails to start off with. And then we're going to potentially have a go at some jade nails. So I'm going to do the rose quartz to start, and then we'll have a look at going like after that. So it's probably one of my favourite nails to do this. I absolutely love it. And it is such an impactful, pretty nail. Oh, mate, it's not. It's a good fake hand, but it's not real, I promise you. So we're just laying a clear base at the minute. Hi, I think I recognise some faces in there. So what can I use if I've run out the acrylic liquid? That's the only thing you can use, I'm afraid, Emily. If you've only got like the monomer, or if you haven't got any monomer, you'd need to get some more. There's no other option. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Do you have to take the nails out to shape? Yes. Hi, by the way. Although, no, actually, you don't. I do try and leave them in because I think it's really good practice, you know, for when you've got those really stiff-handed clients. But if you mean like the final finish filing, occasionally I do if I'm really struggling. But you can kind of do it in there. They already look so clean and nice. That's the joy of working on these fake hands. You do have quite a nice base to kind of set off with. Also, there seems to be whoever moulded the hand seems to have a really nice hand shape and a nice nail bed, which I really appreciate. Just really need some by Friday. I think have a look at the company that you with, Emily. You know what I mean? Some of them will do express delivery, or they might have like a distributor in your area. Bought this hand. Do have some seconds that are cheaper, Joe. That's absolutely right. And they're still really good. I know a few people that have got the seconds from them and they've been really, really impressed with them. Where'd you get the hand from? It's in the link in the bio. It's a company called Hand Dolly. So, and I, like I say, absolutely love them. I think they're fantastic. I'm just going to very gently, also I want to take off the wings here because it's not a well-less tip. I just want to make sure I'm nice and smooth there. These I would say coffin. These are a coffin. So normally I tend to err on the side of square or tapered square when I'm doing these, but I really like these gemstone nails in coffin. So we're going to do this. I mean, I might not do all of them. It really depends on time, because often with, you know, we get a lot of questions, so that can hold me up because I'm not the strongest at multitasking. But obviously I will help absolutely question-wise wherever I can, because that's kind of one of the reasons that we do these lives, is to really help people. Shame really, because it's a really beautiful pink, and it's a proper pink, you know, like a proper pinky pink, you know. You'll see it in a minute, almost like a Barbie pink, but it's a lovely cover powder. I'm literally just want to layer a cover. I don't want it to be strong, and I want to make sure I feather the back of that back. You'll have to excuse me, my dogs are going mad in the background, I think, so, but they'll normally quieten down. Looked in the back. Yeah, you've got to download the free guide to get it, and it's got everything that I'm using, so it'll tell you which brushes I'm using, which acrylic system, some of the tips. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of it's a bit of a find all, basically. I've not picked up the right size bead. Hang on. So we'll put that up there. And we'll just cover that over. I might put another tiny bit just in the middle there, just to cover that. Because obviously from clients, I don't ever use the same monomer on clients. I'd always throw it out. But I think this might be from the other night, so I might refresh the monomer as well. Because to be honest with you, old monomer, there's just no point in trying to save it. Unless it's for practice. You can have that kind of relationship with, though. I have to say, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm very lucky with my client base, I have to say. Very, very lucky indeed. So, brush, and then I'm going to just kind of draw that down and create, you know, I don't know what you call it, you know, like the spines, the spine or the layers that you get in quartz. And then I'm going to go down doing the same on the other side. The veins, is it veins? So in good company, Amy, good company. So then I'll just kind of blend it out. I might go in with some white in a second as well, but I just like this to look really soft, and it means you don't get those really harsh lines underneath. And this is why I like to use the pigment rather than just the white acrylic. Sometimes I will, like I say, if I want to kind of just get a very fine line, but I'll just gently blend that out at the side as well. So you'll see it's created. Sounds like there's a pack of wolves in the garden, doesn't it? There's not. Here we go. And then I'm just going to blend that down as well. And it just creates that kind of... Going to... Actually, I did go to school. I just didn't pay any attention. So I'm just going to, again, feather that down. And the nice thing is you can really blend these out as well. So you get kind of the line at one side, and then you get and you can just feather the rest of it out. And I'm only using just the tiniest bit of monomer. And you'll see in a second. It's sometimes, do you know what I think it is? I think it's probably because it's less harsh than using a white acrylic, and it's stronger than using like a soft white acrylic as well. I like to kind of put them in between here. So I don't like to go over the lines. I try and put them in, and these are so pretty and they add so much depth. I will sometimes as well cut up, you know, like mermaid paper, you know, that purple mermaid paper. I had a look before and I don't think I've got any at the minute. I might have another quick look in a second on this set, and it looks the same every time I do it, but it's just looks beautiful. So I'll usually just put that around the kind of spine. Again, it kind of highlights the spines a little bit, or the veins. And then what I'll do is I want that to set as well. I don't want to work on that again while that's got any kind of movement in it, because when I cap that, it'll I'll find that I'll move my glitter, and I don't want to move my glitter because I'm quite happy where the glitter is. This is definitely probably, I would say, one of my most popular designs that I've done on my page, and the one that I always get, or can you do tutorials again on it? So, you know, by all means, if you go on my page somewhere as well, I think there will be a couple of videos, because I'm sure I've uploaded it a couple of times. So helpful. I'm doing... very nice. I did my VCTC, gosh, a few years ago now. It was about 5 years ago now, but that was how I qualified. How are you finding it? So I'm just going to go here. Thank you for sharing the live, guys. If you know anybody else that you think could benefit, please do feel free to invite them. They're more than welcome. And it's a safe space here, so all questions are welcome. Well, I always say that, then I'm like, within reason, about nails. It's not always the easiest. I just want a little bit more definition here. There we go. I just felt like I'd lost that line a little bit. And again, it's a real layering job, this. It's like, just add where you need to add, and you know what I mean? And if you feel like you're not happy with it, take it off as well. That's another thing I always say. Don't, you know, worry about trying to work with a line that isn't working for you, or working with like a bead that isn't right. Chuck it. There we go. Perfect. So we've got our nice little thing to get. I'm going to put a bit of clear over this just to kind of try and protect it. I don't want that to kind of go, yeah, there we go, that's fine. Because it creates a lovely amount of depth. We're just going to very gently trim that into some random shapes. And I want to get more of a kind of natural looking shape rather than, oh, look, it's been cut with scissors type thing. So I'm going to probably pop a little bit on this side this time. And I'm just putting a very thin wash of that acrylic over there. And this really does, again, it adds quite a bit of depth, this, to be fair. And it also means that the glitter underneath kind of stands out. If it'll come off my brush, hang on. But it's got the most lovely purpley kind of bluey finish, and it really stands out through the rest of the acrylic. So I'm just going to see that. And then I'm just going to pop little bits on here. And actually I might bring that all the way down there, to be fair, because I do think it makes such a difference. Again, tiny, tiny wet bead of acrylic. And then we're going to pop that on there. I think it might have fallen off, I don't know where it's gone. I'm not looking at the comments right now, only because I'm doing this. So if I've missed anybody and you want an answer, just pop your comment back in a second and I'll be more than happy to answer for you. Can't have too much glitter and knife. There we go. We'll just pop that on there. Nice little bit. So it doesn't look as sheer at the moment, but that will change. You'll see it in a second. So I want it to be quite thin again. So I'm just going to bring that down and you'll see the thinner I take that, you can see the actual lines through it there. And that's what creates our beautiful, and that's why I wanted those lines underneath it to be just a little bit more dense. And don't worry if you've got anything sticking out, like there's a little bit of that sticking out there. We're going to encapsulate it again in clear, because that wasn't the only layer. I like to do a couple of layers. So again, I'm going to work in quite a wet bead, because again, I don't want any. I want the strength, which I will get from my core powder, but I don't want to drown the colours and everything that I've got underneath it. But you'll see, this is what I love about this one. It's just see-through enough that you can start to see the balance of that glitter and everything through it. Oh, I love doing nails this length. A wall full of glitter in my office, and I love it. So we're just going to pop that there, and then we're going to very gently just do that. Again, it's not a thick layer, it's quite a wet layer. And I try and treat this like I'm treating a human being, so I still try to get it's really good practice for, kind of getting as little product on your client's skin and all that kind of thing. I am going to leave that there. So you'll see we've got kind of, and I'm literally just going to take that down, and you'll see it adds a really nice bit of depth there. So I'm just creating a line there, another little vein in it. Or mineral lines, as somebody said before, which I rather like. I think that kind of makes sense. And then I'm going to blend out the sides. I'm not going to make this one too harsh at all, because I really want that softness. There we go. It just makes it such a beautiful nail to look at. I love nails where you can see all the different layers. This is probably one of my favourite kind of nail to do, to be fair. And I'm just doing very, very little flecks of glitter down here. And I am going to pop that there. Hang on. Now, is this going to stay flat though? Right. So I'll keep that brush on there for a second, and hopefully it'll stay. I'll glue the rest of that down in a second. And again, I'm going to just, sometimes when you're applying the glitter, or the angel paper or anything that you want to lay flat, try and do it. So you see that's curved. I'll try and place that curve against the nail because that'll make it so much easier to work with if you do it like that. And then we'll just hold it down with our nails. Obviously make sure you're not touching uncured acrylic. Really, really important. Hang on. And I'm just going to hold that down. I'll come back in a second as well. I might even put a bit of glue on that, to be fair. Yeah, I think I'm going to pop a little bit of glue, just because it's got a little bit of texture now. So, but it's dead easy to do. And you can encapsulate glue. You can encapsulate glue in your nails. It's not a problem at all. There we go. And we're going to just stick that down. See, dead easy. And then the back flips up. Do you know, it usually happens when you're doing clients as well. Anybody have that where you'll get a great idea and you'll try and kind of execute it and something just doesn't want to stick? Or, I don't know, your gel polish doesn't want to cure, or you go to put a foil on them, the foil won't stick to them. It happens to all of us. This is one of the things I always say about getting good kit, because I've had it myself before when I've been just there, just because it softens up that paper, and then I will go in with a file. But yeah, that glue's fantastic, and it does genuinely stick within seconds. So that's a bit of the dare to bear there. That's just creating a little bit of softness on the edges of that paper, and then I'm going to encapsulate it in clear and I'm going to just pop this at the top here. And these are the most beautiful flakes. Honestly, they're absolutely stunning. And I'm going to just very gently go down here. And we're going to apply that. And I like to do this just at the top and the bottom and maybe the odd flake in the middle, and that's about it. I don't put a lot of this on, but it almost frames the nail really, really nicely. And then it sets really quickly as well, so I'm not waiting yonks for it to set, which is a huge benefit. So place that at the bottom, because I should have had enough time for that to set now. Like I said, it doesn't have to be hard, but I just want it to kind of have a bit of resistance. I don't want to wipe my glitter away when I put my clear acrylic on. So, she is awkward tonight, Angelina. Right, we're just going to, using the belly of my brush, I'm bringing that down, and then I'm going to bring it down. We're going to keep going. I'm applying a decent amount of pressure here, not a great deal. And then I'm pretty much fully encapsulated. At the end here, try not to use your finger. I see people a lot of the time, you're touching the bare acrylic with their bare hand. Please try and stop doing that, because you could potentially end up getting a contact allergy and, ending a career. And do you know what I mean? I think most of us are in nails because we love it. Well, certainly that's why I do it. And the idea of not being able to do it because I'm allergic to my job. Eyes on my brush for a minute, and I'm going to place it and I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm going to, I don't want to work with this too much because I don't want to push too many bubbles into it, because it's very easy to get bubbles in your clear acrylic. So ideally you want a really well saturated brush, and you want to, hang on, let me just feather that back. So you want a really well saturated brush, and you really want to not play with your acrylic too much. I've got a little dent there, I'll fill that in a minute. I'm going to just pop that there, bringing it down, just easing it down, and then I'm going to tuck it into the cuticle. Get that into the cuticle. It's one of your first jobs. Normally on a human hand, the acrylic sets much slower at that particular point. So we're going to go down, and I want to get some of the monomer out of that because I want the strength to really blend that down, because we'll file that in a minute. And then we're going to just shape that down. Now, I've got a little dent there. I don't know whether you can see that, so I'm going to add more acrylic. Don't be afraid to add more acrylic. Obviously, this isn't a client for anybody panicking. But I'm just going to hold and support that nail. If not, I'm going to be... Hey, careful, Kate. It's a slippery slope. That's how I started 5 years ago. And now I've got an entire room dedicated to it. I'm just saying. I'm just going to file the top there. Okay, that e-file bit is the 5-in-1 mini bit from Willow Academy. If you miss anything or you don't have time to take it all down, go to the link in my bio, and it's all in the guide. We've got a free download in there that you can download. It's got some discount codes, sadly not for Willow Academy, but for a few different other places. I am going to do that again, actually. I want to take a little bit more. I love this bit. It's great. This bit is perfect for refining at the end. Although it's small, on a normal salon length nail, it's perfect. Your storage unit, yeah. Good job, yeah. Yeah. Same here. I've got a very supportive wife who completely understands and absolutely loves it. So, in fact, she's in this chat right now. So I am just going to make sure I'm nice and neat. One of the things that can happen when you're shaping, that I think it happens to people a lot of the time. They'll file and file and file it, and I'm going to splay splay it out a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to quickly get my alcohol. And the thing with this as well, if you're not happy, take it off. I always think, again, it's the same. Because of the way it's working, you can take it off. I'm going to... Oh, but it's not going to do it now. Oh, no, we're coming off. There we go. So I'm going to get... In fact, I might use a little bit of swipe as well, actually, because it's got acetone in it and it's a bit stronger. So I'm just going to... I want to thin that out, because the thing is, I want to see what's underneath the nail. In fact, am I going to take that off? We're going to take it off. No, we're all right. We're okay. It's a real process working with me. This is how my mind works all the time. Like I say, thankfully, I'm very, very lucky with my clients, and they seem to enjoy getting the nails done with me. So I'm just going to use that. I've gone over to the acetone only because the acetone's really helping to blend that out. I don't really want to see anything in the middle. What I want is these lines down the side here, which really helps. And I think when I go in with my next bit of the alcohol ink, I'm going to just do it a lot finer, if that makes sense. I'm going to really brush that alcohol ink off. Her nail art is out of this. Isn't it amazing? And she does tutorials now as well, like our YouTube channel. I've sat and binged that. Absolutely binged it. I want to take as much out of here as possible. I'm just really scrubbing that out. And you'll see that's softening that up. We've got the nice blend. There we go. And that's it. I'm not going to touch that too much more. In fact, I am. Of course I am. And then we're going to just... I kind of don't want to cover up too much of this glitter, because this is like my favourite glitter in the world. I'm a real gold person, as in I like wearing gold, and do you know what I mean? It's probably my favourite kind of colours. So that'll do. I'm quite happy with that. We'll just leave that as it is. I don't want to cover up too much. I'm just going to do one more layer, and I'm going to see also my alcohol ink, because I use it off. And I'm going to go like that, I think. And I'm going to go like that. And again, working quite quickly. She says not picking the brush up very quickly. I'm going to get that on there. And I want to really blend that out. I'm going to wipe that off there, actually, at the bottom, because I want it to look like another vein. You know, like we've got another layer. With anything like this, I mean, I work in thin layers. You know what I mean? You create such a level of depth in the actual nail. It's so nice. There we go. It's blending out lovely now. You could also put a matte top coat on underneath, and it would really help with the blend there as well. Expose the glitter like a geode. Yeah, exactly. It's like a geode. Honestly, this is probably one of my favourite nails to do. I'm going to have a go next at... I'm probably only going to do one more nail today, but I'm going to try and do either jade or amethyst. We'll probably need to have a bit of a discussion in a minute on how we're going to do that. But so I'm going to wipe that off, because apparently I need to expose the glitter. take a nice wodge of top coat on top of that. I'm going to blend that down. And then I'm going to blend that over there. Can you see that? I love that. I'm going to worry about it. Don't go hungry for me, babe. She makes a lovely quiche as well. And it's keto, so it's dead healthy. So I'm going to do just a very thin layer. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? I don't do blue nails a lot. It's a bit like green nails. I was saying this the other night. I did green the other night and I loved it. But people kind of tend to have the colours that they have, you know, like the more kind of soft, especially at the minute, it's all pastels, isn't it? And literally, probably this is why they did it. I bought every purple and green I think they had at the time to enter this competition. I did all right as well. A couple of years ago now, but I did all right. There we go. Again, always, because of the way this hand is, often end up with like a very, I'm wiping this down as well because that's really helping shear out this acrylic, you know, so it's not too harsh. And then I am going to do this. Just to get a bit more coverage there. And in fact, I might do a slightly more drained bead here. I always say if I could do nails day in, day out, I would never, ever, I'd be like 8 stone because I wouldn't bother eating because I get so into it, I forget to eat sometimes. I have just had a notification from TikTok to say that I've been live for like 90 minutes, so I kind of get what you're saying, Joe. I didn't realise I'd been on that long doing one nail. So let's try this again, and we'll just again get this kind of blended down. And then I'm gonna, I think, put some like swirls on it. We're going to play with this one a lot. And we're going to do the same thing again here. From underneath it. And I am going to get a bit more of the crush there. And this is creating a really nice level of depth, actually. It's lovely. What I want to do is I've dried by the time I've faffed about with this. Hang on, there we go. But it took me a little while to get the hang of it. Because, as we've said a few times before, you can't have too much glitter. And oh my gosh, I wish you could see this, and I hope you can see this as well as I can because it's beautiful. I think I've actually opened Glare Flare. I've opened a different one. It's called Glare Flare, this one from Glitterati, and it's out of this world. Okay, oh, we might do a nail sometimes that doesn't work, and that's okay. So, but this is looking pretty fire. So we will just very gently do this. This is not a length for stray. Brilliant. No, I can't think of the word I'm using. A layer for strength. This is literally just a layer to what's underneath it isn't too obvious. There we go. Yeah. So I'm just going to go in and do just another layer of this down here. And then I'm going to do another layer of that down there. We're creating like the veins in it. Again, this is a size 14 brush. If you get your brushes working for you, I mean, I quite like working with my Liz Guild as well, which is like a size 12. But actually, you can do as much with a 14 and a 12. but it's just about kind of understanding the brush and how it works, if that makes sense. Mega XL extensions. Oh, she won't be able to do anything. She's had, in fact, you've had them before, haven't you, Jo? You've been my model a couple of times, to be fair to you. I'm sure she probably felt like she'd had her hand chopped off, but you have been my model very kindly. And I am going to put this, I like to put it in the corner because I feel like it highlights the veins, as it were. In fact, bear with me just one second. Shards of this, because, well, why wouldn't we add another? Now, I don't think I'm going to put any more blue over the top of this. I'm just going to place this at the bottom, and then I'm going to just gently ease it down. I'm going to just tap the top in there. And then I'm going to, using the belly of my brush, I'm going to bring that down. So you'll see the belly of my brush is flattening that all the way down, bringing it in at the sides. I don't want any bulk or kind of chunk at the sides. These tips are perfect for coffin because they just lend themselves to the shape. You don't need to do anything. I've hardly filed these at the very beginning. I don't know if anybody's been here since the very beginning. If you have, thank you. And again, as before, thank you for the likes. Thank you. And I'm going to pop this on here, and I'm going to again let that just run. I'm not worried too much about the base. I'm going to just ease that down. And that, I'll come back in a second because I think I've got a tiny bit here where I've got a bit of those flakes fighting with me. I can see it there and it's driving me mad, but we'll sort that out in a second. And then I'm going to do my cuticle bead now. Now, with my cuticle, and we're going to just pop in. This, for some reason, right, whenever you're doing a stone, if you add these holographic type shards, it makes it a different nail and it adds so much to it. It really does. So I'd highly recommend. Now, everywhere I've bought holographic shards from seems to have like either closed down. So I think Glitter Planet do one, and it's just, and this is for, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to pop that just there. But because I'm tilted, I'm not worried about that running into her hand. And in all honesty, because of the way these brushes disperse the monomer, I don't really have a problem with it kind of the monomer or the bead being too wet and it running over. Because ideally, I don't want, I want as little as possible touching my client. My client's obviously health and nail health and everything like that is very, very important. So in the link in the bio, if you download that, it's got all the information of everything that I've used. So, well, most of the things, not necessarily the glitters, but like I say, I need to kind of find a new glitter supplier now, really. I'm just popping a touch on there. I'll do it from there as well. I'm going to just gently. There we go. And I use it for everything, frankly. And I'm just going to blend this out because I want to see underneath this. And if I keep doing this, it'll blend it out and it'll create this really nice line for us. So us, because we are genuinely all in this together. This is our nail. This isn't just my nail anymore because everybody's been so kind of involved. I love it. And I'm just going to, you see how it's kind of taking some of the colour out, and it's also creating those little kind of, again, like almost spines and veins. I really like alcohol ink for this because it creates such a level of depth. I don't want to do too much of the alcohol on the ink on this one because I think because of the, again, just not going too far. And I'm just going to swoosh up like that out. And I'm just going to pop that on. Oh, Sorry, I got lost myself in that top coat reveal. Okay.